Today was supposed to be a happy day. Monsta X dropped their album. I was going to wake up. I was going to listen to it. I was going to be a good little mom baby. But you know what? I am now in mourning. Because what happened when I woke up? The first thing I see on my news feed, Mark Lee is leaving NCT. This is supposed to be a wrap-up video, and we're going to get there. But it took me seeing Mark leaving for me to realize I might be in deeper in this little K-pop stuff than I thought, okay? I am very anti-parasocial relationships, obsession, all that stuff, whatever. I really thought I was a surface level collector, okay? I've had my fair share of scandals, outrage in my little fandoms, obviously, especially loving NCT, but this has just ruined my entire mood. And I'm being so dramatic considering this is someone I've never met in my entire life. But Mark got me into NCT. Mark is the reason why I knew anything about NCT. And I'm super sad. I really am. However, 10 years is a long time to do anything, especially when you're only 26. So I get it. I wish him the best in all of his future endeavors, whatever they may be. I have no idea what he's doing, but I hope he finds happiness, and I hope that whatever he does in life, he knows that he is loved and appreciated and supported by his fans. And yeah, I'm going to stop moping about it. I'm going to still love on my little baby here. I don't know what to do about this. Is this even the right shelf? This shelf. Do I leave it? Because every time I look at it, I get sad. What do I do? And I knew this video is going to be 3 hours long. I knew when I saw that clip of them crying at the Dream concert, I knew something was up. Because those weren't little regular, oh, I'm so sad, the concert's over, the tour's over, tears. No, I knew something was up. I just didn't know what. And then me being me, I was like, whatever. It's not that deep. Oh my gosh. Taeyong without Mark just doesn't. I'm very curious for how this affects the group as a whole, but we will see. I will ponder about it later on my own time. That's not why we're here, but I am going to hold on to my little baby for this video, more than likely. This is what we were supposed to be talking about today. I am getting hit. That's my problem. I am getting hit by all of my fandoms at once. We were going to go in on BTS today. We're still going to go in on BTS respectfully. And then I haven't even opened my Monsta X albums. I'm supposed to do that later today. That'll be a nice little pick me up. And then, yeah, let's do our actual intro, shall we? Welcome officially to Pass or Playlist, the video where I talk about all the new K-pop that I listen to for the month and give my opinions and ratings on them. Quick disclaimer. Music is subjective. These opinions mean absolutely nothing. These ratings mean absolutely nothing. These are my thoughts. It's not that deep. Don't come over here trying to fight me about how I feel. If you would like to disagree with me civilly in the comments, that is completely fine. As usual, below I will have the Baksu playlist linked down below where I pick my favorite singles of the month and put them in a nice little playlist for you. So without further ado, let's jump in because I did listen to quite a bit of new stuff this month. So the first group we're going to talk about, I think it is pronounced New Era. I am not sure. Please do not come for me if I mispronounce it. This is their third album. My first time ever listening to them or hearing of them, actually. And I absolutely loved it. I feel like if you're into kickflip, you will like this group. Not because they sound like kickflip, but they have that same vibe. Like you turn it on and you're like, oh, this is fun. This is a good time. My favorite track is A-List. She's fun. She's cute. She's upbeat. Honestly, the entire album is upbeat. Like, even the slower songs are still a little groovy. The instrumental on the title track, y'all, love, needed. I don't even like instrumentals, okay? I like words with my music, but I would listen to this over and over again. And yeah, I didn't have too much to say about this one. No notes, just a grand old time. And I think that if you like fun, upbeat music, then you should check out this album. And I gave it a solid 8 out of 10 boxus. And because I forgot, the title of the album is Poppin' Like. Go check it out. Next up is High Key with Love Chapter. I gave this one 5 out of 10 boxus. As soon as I turned it on, I felt nostalgic immediately. I always forget how often we don't get actual instruments in K-pop until I hear them. When I got done with this album, I queued up my pop punk playlist from high school. The first few tracks just gave me like Avril Lavigne, All Time Low, Newfound Glory, like that kind of situation. And I was like, oh yeah, I need to go visit some of this stuff again. Especially the first track. It was very angsty. Like, I don't obviously know what they're saying, and I didn't take the time to look up the lyrics because I have things to do. But I just got dumped behind the gym in third period. Like, I don't know what I'm saying, but it was a good time. I will say the last track on the album felt very much out of place. It's not a bad song. I did enjoy it, but given the vibes of the rest of the album, I'm like, why are you here? And I know you're like, girl, if you loved it so much, why did you give it 5 out of 10? I mean, it wasn't life-changing. It was very much middle of the road. Should I give it a 6? Maybe I should bump it up to a 6 out of 10 boxus. I don't know. Nah, we'll stick with 5 out of 10. It was good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Was it amazing? No. But you know what was amazing? P1 Harmony's Unique. I gave it 8 out of 10 boxus. I love me some P1 Harmony. And you know what's funny? As much as I love P1 Harmony, I do not consider myself a piece. Don't ask me why. I have been rocking with these boys from the beginning, and I cannot tell you why. I just do not consider myself a piece. And I think, even though we're about to get off track again, I think there's this discourse around fandom. Where's my child? There we go. We're still mad at your daddy, but it's okay. Anyway, there's this discourse, especially in K-pop, around fandom. Like, what notates or what dictates that you're a stan of a group? Is it the albums? Is it the music that you listen to? Is it the stuff that you collect? Is it watching all the extra stuff that they put out? Like, I saw a comment on Instagram that was like, if you don't watch the behind the scenes stuff, or if you don't interact with like the music videos or the little series they put out on YouTube or whatever each individual group has, then you're not really a stan. I've maybe seen a couple of episodes of the little series. What's it called? BTS Run? I don't know. I've seen a couple of episodes of that. I've never watched any of ATEEZ's extra content. I've watched a few episodes of Johnny's Communication Center, but outside of that, I don't really, other than music videos, I do watch music videos when they come out, but other than that, I don't really engage with these extracurricular things outside of the music. But I consider myself a stan of all of these groups, right? Whereas I have these groups like P1 Harmony, Kickflip, Boy Next Door, that I've never heard a song from them that I have disliked. And I don't consider myself a stan of their music. I don't know how this works. Y'all tell me. What? That's the question of the day. What is your definition of standing a group? What does it entail? What does it mean to you? I know there's no right answer. And as far as I'm concerned, NCT, ATEEZ, Monsta X, I feel like I'm missing one. BTS, I stand these groups. Anyway, let's get back on track. I love P1 Harmony. I love everything that they do. I'm not going to say I was a huge fan of the English album that they put out, but I still enjoyed it. There's something about P1 Harmony, about the way they present themselves in their music, that just says, like, we are those dudes. Like, we've been here. You would think they've been in the industry forever, the way that they carry themselves. The pedestal that I have Kyo and Jungsob on is ridiculous. They are talented. They're all talented, but they are talented. It should be a surprise to nobody who has ever seen any of my videos that Ice VVS is my favorite song on this album. It is so much fun. It is a bop. It is everything. Pandemonium, also a great song. I feel like to get the full effect and the full appreciation of Pandemonium, you need to listen to it with headphones, because they do this nice audio thing in the production, you know, where the songs kind of just bounce. You hear the music bounce from headphone to headphone. Beautiful. You can kind of hear it in regular speakers, but to get the full effect of it, you definitely need to listen to it with headphones. But yes, this is a great album. It is an upbeat album. It is a fun album, and peace or no peace, you should go check this out. Okay, let's get this discourse out of the way very quickly. Again, music is subjective. I'm allowed to have my opinion. You can have yours, and we can all still get along. Let's talk about BTS. This is probably going to be the longest section, only because it is one of my alt groups, and I go hard on my alt groups. It is what it is. I gave it a 7 out of 10, and it took me a long time to gather my thoughts around this album as someone who's listened to them forever in a year. For this group to be one of the groups that got me into K-pop in the first place. I always say BTS was the group that got me into K-pop, and technically that's true. Though sometimes I want to credit Stray Kids for really getting me into K-pop. I don't know. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother video. Okay, so here's the thing. I love a BTS ballad. I am not here to trash them for putting out an album that is relatively slow. Don't get it twisted. Okay, mic drop. That's what made me ARMY. But life goes on is why I stayed. Came for the ciphers. Stayed for 0 o'clock. Sat down for dope. Cried for the truth untold. Will pretend to know some Korean so I can shout the lyrics to Detrata, just so I can sit down and cry to lie. Okay? These songs are not lost on me. These slow ballads are my bread and butter when it comes to BTS. As much as I love fast music, I love my rappers type of K-pop listener, if you can make that kind of music and make a solid ballad, I'm sold. I'm sold. Okay? With that being said, as a comeback of this magnitude, easily the most anticipated comeback this year, if not in K-pop. Of course my battery had to die. Of course it did. Anyway, for this to be one of the biggest comebacks, most anticipated comebacks, I feel like that this was not delivered properly. I love Swim, okay? I know Swim has a lot of haters out there. I love Swim, and I damn sure love the music video, with the exception of that little weird interpretive dance moment that she was having. They could have left that out. But I like Swim. I like music videos that have a story to them. I thought the vibes were good, albeit slow. However, I do not believe Swim should have been a comeback song. I also do not believe that for an album that is supposedly deep-rooted in Korean culture, and I say supposedly because obviously I am not a Korean woman. I can't speak on the culture of everything that was put into this album. That's not my lane. But I do feel like the comeback song should have been in Korean, especially given the title of the album. From a marketing standpoint, I get why it's in English. It makes sense. From this is an album that represents us and our culture and this, that, and the third, it makes no sense. 2.0, I'm on the fence with 2.0, because here's the thing, and I know I shouldn't be dragging other groups into this, and I am going to drag a couple of groups into this conversation. If If NCT would have put out 2.0, specifically if NCT 127 would have put out 2.0, I wouldn't have bat an eye. I'd have been like, this is fire, this is them. It's very not BTS coded. It's not a bad song. I enjoy the song, but I'm like, this is not BTS. Not my BTS. And that's not even me as a person that's holding on to, oh, they don't sound like butter, or oh, they don't sound like dope, or oh, they don't sound. I get that they're grown up. I get that they're starting a new sound. I get that they wanted to try something new. But I don't know. This one should have stayed in the drafts, I feel like. I feel like Hooligan should have been faster. I get the vibes. I get that it's like, we're back, this is who we are, this is what we're doing. The snark is there, the sass is there, the attitude is there. But because the song is so slow, it doesn't deliver on that front for me. I don't know who signed off on Into the Sun. It's a trash song. I'm sorry, I'll say it. I hate it. Why are you here? Also, 29. If there was it a palate cleanser? I thought I had broken something. If there was a legitimate purpose for it that I do not understand, please, I beg of you to explain it to me, because I'm not even trying to be funny here. I don't get the purpose. Unless it was just like a hard reset. All right, guys, calm down. It's time to launch into part 2 of the album. I don't know. Someone tell me. Someone help me out. And One More Night, I feel like the same way. I had the same feelings that I had when ATEEZ dropped Lemon Drop. I'm just like, it's a thing, it's here, whatever. And I hate that feeling, especially because it's BTS, especially because this was a huge comeback. This is a huge anticipated moment, and I feel like the whole thing fell flat. Like, I don't even want to watch the Netflix thingy, the concert. I don't care about the documentary part, but I was hyped for the concert until I listened to the album. And if I'm thinking BTS did what BTS does, they didn't do a whole, this is our discography concert. This was probably very much a, this is our album, these are the songs on this album. We might throw in Dynamite if we're feeling funky, just to be like, hey, we remember you guys. But other than that, I feel like it is strictly for this album. Now, I do love me a good moody album, and this very much was a good moody album. Again, I keep coming back to the point that this is a comeback, and a big one. It did not feel like a celebration. I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting De Trota. I was expecting something upbeat, something like, yeah, we're here, we're back. You know what I was expecting? I was expecting what EXO did with Crown. The first time I heard Crown, I was like, holy shit, let's do this. I was excited, and I'm not even into EXO like that. But I didn't get that. In fact, if anything, they should have left us with Swim and then came back 4 years later and gave us Run BTS. Now that would have been a thing. From a musical standpoint, this is a solid album. It is a good album. It is a cohesive, consistent album across the board. As a fan of BTS, it's not for me. I'll probably I'd listen to Body to Body. I do like Body to Body. I would listen to 2.0. I will listen to Swim. Will I reach for this album the way that I reach for Wings? No, absolutely not. Will I continue to support them in everything they do? Obviously, I love them. And I feel like if you cannot sit here and look at your favorite groups and say, hey, this ain't good, or hey, I didn't like this. If you're one of those people that can be like, my group can't do no wrong and they only produce A+ stuff all the time, you need to get real with yourself. You can still be a fan, and I'm only saying this because there is so much discourse. I have seen people telling people to off themselves because they did not like this album, and that is asinine to me. And I understand most of them are probably children. However, get a hold of yourself. Please. Shall we move on? Big Ocean. Big Ocean. I love Big Ocean. I love what Big Ocean represents. Let's try that again. Groups like Big Ocean and X Love, I love that they have their own thing, that they're unique, that they're here to represent something to somebody, for somebody. I love that. For those of you who don't know, Big Ocean is composed of idols that are hard of hearing, and they are still out here doing the damn thing. Now, this had 8 tracks, and 4 of them were instrumentals. I will be completely honest with you. I did think that this was just okay. It's not terrible. It's not wonderful. It is very much middle of the road standard pop. The album flowed very well. Again, it was very consistent, but it was consistent to the point that I looked up and I was like, oh, it's over already? Okay. Not because the album's short, even though it is, because half of it is just instrumentals, but because every song sounded very much the same. So it did not leave a lasting impression on me. I will continue to listen to them and support them. But as far as this album is concerned, I only gave it 5 out of 10 boxes. Next up is Tunics with their debut album. And I love me a good debut. Debuts are fun because I have 0 expectations from a group when they debut. I don't know who they are. I can't name a member. I can't tell you nothing about nothing other than it is a group of people who have come together to make some music. So this one has 4 tracks on it, and it is very much heavily influenced by rap and R&B music. You can hear it in every single track. The first track is so funky. When it first came on, I was like, ooh, okay. The bass on the first track is magical. I love it. I will say that the production did feel a bit off. I'm fidgeting, I'm sorry. The production on the first track specifically felt a little weird, like the balance was off. They were louder than the music, kind of like they were like sitting on top of the music. Does that make sense? I don't know what I'm trying to say. The balance was weird. So it was like they were way louder than they needed to be, in my opinion. It could have been an intentional thing and I just didn't know. I feel like, I don't want to be like, to the normal ear, it's not noticeable, because who am I? You know what I'm saying? But it was just enough for me to feel like something's off here, you know? So you may notice it, you may not notice it. But overall, I am super interested in what they have to deliver to the musical world, and I will be keeping my eye on these guys. I gave them 6 out of 10 boxes. It's time to come down a little bit. The next thing I listened to was Everglow. I gave it 2 out of 10 boxes. This was not for me, okay? When the first song came on, immediately I was like, skip. But I didn't skip because I'm here to review music, okay? So what did I do? I sat there and I suffered. The things I do for you guys, for all 10 of you, you're welcome. I felt like I was in the middle of a rave, and that was half the problem. I do not like techno music. I don't mind nods to techno music in other songs, because obviously after a while all music sounds start to blend in after a while. But this, I saw strobe lights in my peripheral. I don't know. I was just transported to some club popping Molly with glow sticks. It's very techno heavy is what I'm trying to get at, and it's not for me. That is not to say that this is a trash album because it is techno heavy. It is to say that this music was not made with me in mind, and that's okay. I had the same experience with track 2. I was like, baby, skip, please skip. But I didn't. I listened to it. Track 3 was a little more digestible for me. Now, the last track was tolerable, okay? I'm not going to say I liked it, but if it came on, I wouldn't try to flee or change the radio station. In fact, I added her to the playlist, so you should be proud of me for finding something. There is always a gem somewhere. Not that I'm calling this song a gem. The fact that I can't even tell you the name of the song should tell you enough. What is the name of the song? Let me look it up. I will say, though, the last song reminded me of something, and I can't put my finger on it, and it's been bugging me. I don't think it's a sample. I don't think they sampled anything in the instrumental, but it reminds me of a song and I just can't place my finger on it. So if you're the target audience for this type of music, I would give this 5 out of 10 baksus. But for me and my musical preferences, I only gave it 2 out of 10 baksus. So do with that what you will. I feel like when I start and stop and start and stop, I never quite get my camera right where it was. So I'm like jump cutting everywhere. But we only have one more group left, and this is Skins. Skins. First of all, let's talk about that. I didn't even know that outside of Plave there were other virtual groups. I don't know what the technical term is, so I don't want to offend anybody or any fans out there, but I just call them virtual boy bands or virtual girl bands or what have you, assuming they're virtual girl bands, because like I said, Plave was the only one I knew of until I came across this group of webtoon looking whatever. Not for me. Hard no. Not because they're virtual. Just because I don't like it. There's one member in particular. I don't know their names. I don't know who's who, but his voice is like nails on a chalkboard to me. And hey, if you like it, I love it. I love that for you. It's just not it. And I'm not even going to go so far as to be like, that's the one right there, because I don't want to be mean like that. I couldn't do it. Every time he showed up, I was like, please go away. Please just leave me alone. Now, I will give credit where credit is due. Poison, love it. Love, not the song, love the instrumental. And you know what? For someone who does not like instrumentals, I feel like I've been saying that I love the instrumental of a song a lot in this video, but the use of the piano in this song is just chef's kiss. Glorious, beautiful. Do it again. Do it again. Can an album make you feel itchy? Because I felt itchy. I don't know how to explain the ick. I don't want to even call it an ick, because ick isn't right. I just felt itchy. Listen to this album. Like, all the songs kind of started blending together. It made me feel like I was losing my mind, like I was at a circus or something. It was just very itchy. I just felt itchy. The last track of the album is a little bit slower than the other ones, and even then it wasn't doing anything for me. And I want to be like I was with the Everglow album and be like, hey, if you like this, then this is a solid album. But I can't even be that nice. Skins needs to take it back to the drawing board and try again. I don't know how long they've been around. Did I don't think I made a note of how long they've been around. Which album is this? I just wrote that there were 5 tracks. Let me do a quick Google search. 7-member boy group under Bridge Entertainment. They debuted April 10th, 2025. So they've been around. No, thank you. They're pretty. You know, I like art. I'm a big fan of art. They're cute. I'd buy some prints or something. I say prints instead of photo cards, but if they were prints, I'd get into it. But music wise, not for me, dog. It's a no for me. I just can't get into it. And like I said, I want to be like, if you like this, you know, maybe it's a 6 out of 10. But this all around, I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. And if you're a fan, I am so sorry. I promise I'm not judging you. I just don't get it. I gave it 2 out of 10 baksus. And the only reason why I gave it the 2 was because the last 2 songs aren't terrible. I lied. I have one more. All Hours. How did I forget about All Hours? Great album. No Doubt is the name of the album. I've been slacking on giving out album names the second half of the video. I got on my little tangent about BTS and then kind of went left. But 6 tracks? 6 tracks on this album. I have mixed feelings about this album. Let me start by saying I am familiar with All Hours. I put them in the category as I do with P1 Harmony and Boy Next Door, like I was saying before. I haven't heard anything by them that I don't like. You know what? I keep putting P1 Harmony in the group with them, but I can't really put them in the same category as Kickflip and Boy Next Door, because I have P1 Harmony albums and I have invested money in them, so I guess I should knock them up a notch on my I like them scale. I don't own any Kickflip. I don't own any Boy Next Door. I don't own any All Hours, but I have never heard anything by them that I do not like. I will say the first track is fire. It fed my post-hardcore heart, and I am an elder emo, and I will be that way until I die. However, comma, it is so out of place in this album, it is not even funny. Okay, listening to this song, you're like, yeah, oh, it's finna go down. It's finna be an epic moment. And then we slide right into regular K-pop for the rest of the album. So I ask of you, why are you on this album? What was your intention? Because it was a very strong opening, and that's not to say that the rest of the album is not strong along with it. But it's like listening to a Linkin Park song and then being like, yeah, you ready? You ready to do it? And then launching into like, I don't know, the Backstreet Boys. Like, there's a substantial difference in what I'm getting between song number 1 and the rest of the album. Going into Dead Man Walking into Pieces of Me, whatever it is, the second track, is whiplash to the utmost degree, okay? 7 o'clock is Summer Nights vibe, music cranked, windows down, hands in the air like you just don't care music. It's beautiful, it's fun, I really like it. Overall, it's an okay album. It's pretty much on par with the rest of their discography. Again, I don't really have anything too negative to say about them. It didn't move me. It was solid. It was enjoyable. I'd listen to it again, and I gave it 6 out of 10 boxes. Now that is everything for March's Pass or playlist. Let me know down below your faves of March. We definitely had some hits this past month in March. We definitely had some what the fucks. Moving into April, what are we looking forward to? When I finish this video, I am going to finally crack open the Monster X albums that I have been waiting for. Not the albums themselves, they still aren't here. I pre-ordered them from Target. They won't be here till Monday, but I will go get on my Spotify and give it a listen. Just the whole Mark thing threw my day off, and I was not excited about anything for the rest of the day. So I had to get myself out of that mindset. I got it out my system. I have accepted that he's gone. He's leaving. It is what it is. I still have Taeyong. I still have Jano. I still have other rappers and other people to listen to. It's fine. I am curious to see what the sound is going to be moving forward, because Mark is just such a foundational pillar. I'm not going to start another tangent again. Anyway, I think Monster X was the only thing on my release calendar that I was like, yeah, I really need to get into that. No, TXT has an album coming out. Extraordinary Heroes has an album coming out. NCT Wish has an album coming out. So, well, I'm assuming they're albums. I have a habit of putting their name on the calendar and not writing what it actually is. So it might be an album, it might just be a single. I don't know. So we'll have some Wish action. We'll have a little NCT action and some Monster X action. But we will cross those bridges at the end of April. Coming up, we have the Monster X unboxing. I have an ATEEZ unboxing. Other than that, I don't know. I have to look at my schedule. But if you have made it this far in the video, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and listening to my rants and my happies and my sads and my everything in between. Let me know again what your favorites or your least favorites were for March, and I will see you in the next video, friends. And don't forget to collect responsibly. Peace.
I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.